WRU warns against EGM as governance crisis deepens, amid growing public backlash. The Welsh Rugby Union, WRU, has issued a strongly worded response to calls for an extraordinary general meeting, EGM, branding the proposed motions as short-sighted and debilitating, and warning that they could severely undermine the future of the game in Wales. The statement follows reports earlier this week, first revealed by BBC Sport, that the Central Glamorgan Rugby Union, one of the 9 district unions that collectively make up the WRU's membership, had circulated a letter urging clubs across Wales to support a motion of no confidence in WRU Chair Richard Collier-Keywood. The letter also called for an EGM to debate the direction of the governing body at a critical moment for Welsh rugby. WRU issues stark warning to member clubs. In response, the WRU released a lengthy statement cautioning clubs against supporting the proposed motions, framing them as a serious threat to stability, reform, and long-term investment. The Welsh Rugby Union has issued a stark warning to all member clubs as a letter from a single associate member of the WRU, Central Glamorgan, has been circulated across Wales calling for an extraordinary general meeting, EGM, the statement read. According to the WRU, the motions under discussion risk undoing progress made since sweeping governance reforms were approved in 2023, reforms that were supported by more than 90% of the union's membership at the time. The WRU says the proposed motions would reverse hard-won progress, stall vital investment, and jeopardize the prosperity of Welsh rugby at every level, the statement continued. £28 million investment at stake. Central to the WRU's argument is a proposed £28 million investment program, which it claims would be placed in jeopardy by the uncertainty created by an EGM and a vote of no confidence. The governing body outlined what it described as the key stakes involved should the motion succeed. £28 million investment in the future, covering player pathways, academies, coaching development, talent identification, performance insights, and the Super Rugby Cymru competition. The WRU warned that any delay could result in Welsh rugby missing the boat at a time when other nations are accelerating investment in both the men's and women's games. Financial and commercial stability. The union stressed that confidence in governance underpins government support, commercial partnerships, sponsorship deals, and supporter engagement. An EGM, they argued, could erode trust and deter much-needed backing. Governance integrity. The WRU said revering reforms agreed just 2 years ago would drag the organization back toward outdated structures and a return to debilitating factional internal politics. Operational momentum. The statement emphasized that a detailed, costed strategic plan is already in motion, having been unanimously approved by the WRU board following what it described as the most extensive consultation process in Welsh sporting history. That plan is underway, the WRU insisted. Every week of uncertainty damages progress. Leadership pushes back against calls for change. Further comments were issued jointly by WRU President Terry Cobner, Chair Richard Collier-Keywood, and Chief Executive Abi Tierney, who collectively urged clubs to reject the EGM proposals. This is not the moment to gamble with Welsh rugby's future with the short-sighted and debilitating motions that have been presented, the trio said. We have a plan, it was shaped by you, it is published, let's deliver it together. Their message was clear. The current leadership believes that stability and continuity are essential if Welsh rugby is to recover from years of financial strain, on-field struggles, and reputational damage. Public and pundit backlash grows. Despite the WRU's firm stance, the statement has been met with widespread criticism from supporters, former players, and commentators, many of whom argue that the tone of the response lacks humility and fails to acknowledge ongoing dissatisfaction within the game. Perhaps the most high-profile reaction came from former Wales international Jonathan Davies, one of the most respected voices in Welsh rugby. The ex-centre and long-time broadcaster took to social media platform X to voice his disapproval. "The lack of humility is astounding," Davies wrote, a comment that quickly gained traction among fans and pundits alike. His criticism reflects a broader sentiment among sections of the Welsh rugby public who feel that, despite governance reforms and leadership changes in recent years, the WRU has not done enough to rebuild trust at grassroots level. Grassroots frustration and lingering distrust. Calls for an EGM are widely seen as a symptom of deeper frustration among community clubs, many of whom have struggled financially while watching the national team and professional regions endure a period of decline on the field. While the WRU maintains that reforms are already delivering change, critics argue that decision-making remains too centralized and disconnected from the realities faced by clubs outside the elite game. For some, the Central Glamorgan letter represents an attempt to force accountability rather than recklessly destabilize the union, a view that clashes sharply with the WRU's portrayal of the motions as damaging and regressive. A defining moment for Welsh rugby. The standoff now places Welsh rugby at a crossroads. On one side, the WRU leadership insists that unity and patience are required to allow reforms and investment plans to bear fruit. On the other, a growing chorus of voices believes that genuine change requires stronger scrutiny of those at the top. Whether the call for an EGM gathers enough support to proceed remains to be seen. What is clear, however, is that the debate has once again exposed deep divisions within the Welsh game, divisions that extend far beyond boardroom politics. As Welsh rugby continues to grapple with declining results, financial pressures, and questions over its long-term vision, the coming weeks could prove decisive in shaping both its governance and its future direction. One thing is certain: trust, transparency, and unity will be as crucial off the field as performance is on it if Welsh rugby is to find a way forward. If you want, I can also adapt this for Planet Rugby style. Shorten it to 800